Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So the first thing I did was apply this yellow concealer. It's just a regular color corrector concealer. And I basically created the shape that I wanted to create for my brows. And then I blended that concealer out. And then the next thing I did was use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Fair 00. And then I just blended that all over my eyes. And the reason why I use this shade is to create a white base so that it could make the color pop. So I went into the Zulu palette and I used that bluish greenish shade. And instead of blending the eyeshadow as I applied it, I just packed it on to kind of create a vibrant effect. So because the color was a little bit more blue than I expected it to be, I ended up going into the Take Me Back to Brazil palette and I used that greenish shade because I wanted to go for a more green look. That shade wasn't really giving me the green effect that I wanted to. I went back into that same palette and I used that green shadow. So the next palette I used was a Colored Rain palette, and that was the Vivid Pigments and Shadows palette. And I went in with that green shade. So to kind of give it a little smoky effect, I went in with that really dark green shade. And I apply that to the outer corners of my eye, and I kind of just blended it. So when using that shade, make sure you only use a little bit because it is really dark and pigmented and it can be hard to blend out. So the next thing I did was I went back with that ColourPop No Filter Concealer and I started to create a crease. We'll create a cut crease. So I went back into that Take Me Back to Brazil palette and I used that same lime shade that I used before to kind of give it a base for that shimmery green shade that I used in the Zulu's palette. So I just used my finger to apply the shadow because I feel like sometimes when you use a brush, it doesn't always give it a vibrant look. So I went in and I blended out those two shades so it looked seamless. And I went back in to that Take Me Back to Brazil palette and then I used the light shimmery green shade. Since it wasn't as pigmented as I expected it to be, I went in with the lime green shade that I went in with before. So the foundation that I'm using today is the Maybelline Fit Me in 355. So I did my brows off camera and I used my Cabral by Benefit in the shade 5. I used that same color corrector concealer in the shade yellow that I used to clean up my brows in the beginning of the video. So after I blended out my concealer, I went in with my Airspun powder in the shade Naturally Neutral. So I went in with my CoverGirl Sensitive Skin Powder in the shade 265 Tawny, and I used that as my contour shade. So I went back in with that green shade and I applied that under my eyes as well. For highlighter, I'm using the Clinique Color Surge Eyeshadow in the shade 327 Strike It Rich. I did my eyeliner off camera, and the eyeliner that I used was the Tarteist eyeliner. For lips today, I'm using just a regular brown lip pencil, and then I used the LA Colors lip gloss, and because that lip gloss didn't really give me the ombre effect that I wanted it to, I ended up going in with the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Naughty. So I also applied my lashes off camera, and the lashes that I used were called 3D Glam in the number L10. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the final look. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.